Welcome to the Tibetan class, and so I wrote 3 volumes of Tibetan grammar books, and in total it has about 1000 pages with lots and lots of examples how to use it. And last time on my Facebook I was wondering about this sentence. So in order to write a book, first you should know the second language well. So I put up this question. I worked in Nepal too. So is the word too related to Nepal, or is it related to the verb work? And some students tried to answer this question. Thank you very much for trying to answer it. And I'm writing the 3rd edition of the first volume of Colloquial Tibetan Grammar, the 3rd volume. And last time I asked this question on the Facebook. All the students came up with different opinions, but in Tibetan it's very clear. So yang, kyang, also or to, TOO2. अब तपाईं नेपाली भाषा बोल्नु हुने विद्यार्थीहरूले यो त अंग्रेजीमा बुझाउँदा रहेछ, बुझ्दिन भनेर नछोड्नुस्, म नेपालीमा पनि बुझाउने छु. So नेपालीमा याङ आ याङ कायता क्याङ आ क्याङ चाहिँ पनि, म पनि, तपाईं पनि, पनि, उनीहरू पनि. द शब्द पनि भने चाहिँ भोटिया भाषामा याङ भन्नुपर्छ. नेपालीमा चाहिँ यो ग्रामर एकदमै सजिलो छ, तर अंग्रेजीहरूलाई चाहिँ अलिकति कन्फ्युजिङ छ. त्यसैले गर्दाखेरि म यो बुझाउँदै छु. यो पनि हो. So now here the word yang a yang is placed right after the subject, and here the word yang a yang is placed right after the place, Nepal, and here yang a yang is placed just before the last syllable of a verb. Le ka che is to work. Le ka che is a verb with 3 syllables. Le ka che. So yang a yang is placed just before the last syllable of a word. So what does this sentence mean? यो नेपालीमा सजिलै छ. अब every time you see, some of you might have studied Tibetan for 2 or 3 years, but I'm sure that no one have ever explained how to use yang in this way. And so this is something new I am adding to the first volume of Tibetan Colloquial Tibetan grammar book. So nga ya nga yang ba la pel ya septu yu la yul la sa le ka ba yata cha sa che pa ya kiku yi na yin. So I have many students who has subscribed to my channel. Some of them have studied Tibetan for several years. Some are beginners. Some of the students have studied for like 2 or couple of months. So nga yang bala pel yasatu yul la sa le ka bayata cha sa che pa yakiku yina yin. Now if you are beginner, every time sentences ends with auxiliary pa yin, it shows that first person did something. I went, I told, I tried, I studied Buddhism, I stayed. So pa yin is the speaker did something in the past. So in Tibetan, either you say nga or not, it's not important. Pa yin is I is the subject, I is included in this pa yin. I went, I told, I studied, I waited for you. Pa yin. So this is the past and first person auxiliary. So now nga yang pelula nga yang pelula leka che pa yin. So here it says nga yang pelula leka che pa yin is I also, someone worked and I too worked. Nga yang pelula, pelul Nepal, la in, leka che work. I worked in Nepal also. So when you make a sentence, you have to think back to front. It's not learning English speaking student learning French. It's not like that. It's related. It's not related in that way, but there is a pattern. So I worked in Nepal. Also here it says someone worked, and in addition to it, not only did he work, I also worked. Now yang ayang is placed right after the subject. Now the second sentence is nga pel yul la yang le ka che pa yin. अब नेपालीमा सजिलै छ, म पनि नेपालमा काम गरे. म पनि नेपालमा काम गरे. Now the second sentence is yang ayang is placed after a name of a place, Nepal. So when you say ma pelu la yang leka chepa yin, means you worked in India, and in addition to it, you worked in Nepal also. Nga yang, someone worked, and in addition to it, I also worked. Nga pelu la yang leka chepa yin. This is first person past auxiliary. So here it says, not only in India, I worked in Nepal too. Nga pelu la yang leka chepa yin. Nepali जान्नेलाई सजिलो छ. म नेपालमा पनि काम गरे. So if you are a friend on my Facebook, when I ask some question, please try to answer it. It's not important whether you are right or wrong. Sometimes you can be curious about your own language. And then I'm teaching you Tibetan on YouTube so that Tibetans in Western countries will be able to learn Tibetan, but very, very few Tibetans shows interest in their own language, even though they can't speak their own language. It's very sad. This year, in the 40 days winter class at Manjushri, little less than 100 students, school-going students, joined the class, and very few Tibetan students joined the class, even though they can't read Tibetan, even though they can't write Tibetan, even though they can't speak Tibetan. It's a very sad thing to see. That's why I wrote this. Curiosity in Tibetans is dying slowly. They don't have any desire to learn something new or make improvement on what they have already learned. It's a very sad thing. And currently we have like about 20 students. There is not even one Tibetan student learning Tibetan. It's very sad. So, and I did research on Tibetan language, my own language, for 25 years. Most of the subscribers of my YouTube, they are my old students. They know me. I work really hard. I did and still do research on my own language so that it can be preserved. If it's not written, if it is not explained in a book, sooner or later it will vanish from the world. So here, nga pelu la yang. So if any of you are interested in learning Tibetan, I can send the books directly to you. And Tibetan language is very logical, very, very, very logical. And once you started learning Tibetan, it's like mathematics. It's very logical. And then you would like to learn more and go deeper. So, nga pelu la yang lega chepayin. Here it says, I worked in France or in Canada, and I also worked in Nepal. In addition to Canada, I worked in Nepal. So, yang placed after a name of a place. And then the third sentence, okay, Nepali बोल्नु हुने स्टुडेन्टहरुलाई यो त सजिलो छ नेपालीमा म नेपालमा पनि काम गरे म नेपाल यो चाहिँ मा पनि यो पनि काम गरे लगाछे माने काम गर्नु पाइन माने काम गरे राखे सोधे किने. Okay, now the third sentence is placed just before the last syllable of a verb. Then it's nga pel yul la nga pala pel yasati yula yul la sa le pa yanga yang bayata cha sa che pa yakiku yina yin. Nga Pelyu La Yang Leka Chepai. Now, if the yang is placed just before the verb, it says, not only did I work, not only did I study Tibetan, I also worked. Not only you did something, at the same time you worked in Nepal. So yang ayang, it shows you were studying and you also worked there. And if yang ayang is placed after a name of a place, then you worked in France and you also worked in Nepal. And here, Ngayang, not only did he, but I also worked in Nepal. Ngayang Pelyu La Leka Chepayin. And there are some students who are real beginner, and have great desire to learn Tibetan, but they don't get enough time. This is also for, this lesson is also especially for them. And yes, so I think this is the first time the word yang ayang is taught this way. And those who are interested in learning Tibetan, if you are gaining something from this channel, please like it, subscribe it, share it with those students who wishes to learn Tibetan. And the objective of my teaching Tibetan on YouTube is to not to make some money from YouTube. Even though my YouTube channel is monetized, YouTube gives very small amount of money for one video. It's not about money. So it is to, if you are learning Tibetan and if you are not Tibetan, thank you very much for helping to preserve a dying language, and which is actually very beautiful, very logical, and very precise. And if you like it, comment on it. It will encourage me to make more videos on Tibetan grammar. I don't have much spare time. I'm writing the third edition of the third volume of colloquial Tibetan grammar, and I'm taking time out from my daily schedule to make this lesson available to you. Yes, so it's very interesting. Ngayang, someone is working. Not only is he working, I too am. Not only I am studying. Not only I'm working in France. Not only did I work in France, I also worked in Nepal. Not only did I study, I also worked on the side. This is the idea. So thank you very much for showing interest in learning Tibetan. And see you soon in the next class. Have a good day.